What's up, and welcome, guys, to One Oak Mentoring, the number one virtual team mentoring service, program, entity, company, commodity of all times. How y'all guys doing today, man? Hope y'all doing great. I'm doing great. Um, I know it's been a couple days, but I'm gonna try to catch y'all up on some of the things that we've been doing at the group home. I actually got two stories, but I'll bring the next one to y'all later. So, wow, yeah, this has been a while ago. So maybe like 2 weeks ago, we had to go on an outing. Now, if you don't know what an outing is basically when we take the residents off campus, and then we have an activity for them to implement them back into the community, right? They don't want to just be at a facility all the time. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you want to get out into the world, see certain things to get back out, get back into the groove of things, because some of these guys have been away for a while, some of them close to a year, some of them even like a little more than a year. So this particular outing, what we did, we were supposed to go to this car auction, and basically there was supposed to be like a section for the kids where I work, the residents where I work, to kind of, sell items that have been donated, or like, it was basically like cheap t-shirts, not cheap, like, cheap in price, not cheap in quality, you know what I mean? And so they were going to be selling those. And, that's what my understanding of it was at first. So we go there, and like it's this big warehouse, right? And it's like, I don't know, man, it's probably like 85 95 cars, and they're all like nice, like very in prestigious condition. So when I got there, I'm automatically like, hey, this is pretty nice. I wasn't expecting this, because they kept saying car show. So I'm thinking car show, in my mind I'm thinking like people pulling up with the big rims and the loud pipes, and all kind of crazy custom jobs, like outside, cars just riding by. But no, this is not a car show. This is a car auction. Two totally different things, right? Car show, you're going to show the car off. Car auction, you trying to sell it, right? So it's like all kind of nice cars, like older cars. Some of them were like newer cars, all of them in excellent condition. So me and two of the guys, well, it was me, two of the residents, and another worker that worked there. So we got there, and it was very like crowded. First it was in a big convention center, so we had to drive around a little bit just to figure out where we were actually going. So we get in there, and we go in for free, because we're a group home, free stuff. So we go in there, we're seeing all the cars, they nice, man. And I really just seen some of the kids, some of the guys just like brighten up. They were just so happy. It just kind of changed their mood. Like, yeah, man, looking at all these cars, blah, blah, blah. So, all right, so we get to our section, and, we go over there and we sitting there. And then I started noticing, it's like, they had a section of t-shirts and like for us to sell, but it was like already two other people sitting there. I don't know if they're volunteers or whatever. Most of the time with group home stuff, especially like where I work, like you just got to go with the flow, man. Like nothing is ever set in stone. So I'm just assuming they're like volunteers or something, right? So so this is the section, right? And then beside the section that we were supposed to be selling the shirts, because if we're supposed to be selling the shirts, we should have been sitting like closer to the shirts, right? But what do I know? I'm just the driver, right? So, and this is part of the reason why I just love my job. It's just always an adventure, something new to do, right? So what kind of threw me off was like, there was another section right next to the shirt section where it's like stuff people donated, and I guess Generations is supposed, and I guess the company that I work at is supposed to be, they donated some stuff, and Generations is supposed to sell the stuff that was donated as well on top of the shirts, right? But we're sitting behind the items that have been donated. Now, I would say 75% of the stuff that was there in front of us was all tobacco related. I'm talking about, I had a little nostalgic moment because they had like the Joe Camel. I know smoking is bad and all this stuff, but I just remember Joe Camel from way back in the day, in the 90s, ancient times, right? Way back in the 90s. with the cool glasses on, smoking a cigarette, the leather jacket. You know, I was kind of like, you know, intrigued by it a little bit because it was like all tobacco products. It was like snuff products. It was, well, not snuff products. Like we don't, we didn't have the kids like actually selling cigarettes, tobacco, and like snuff. It was like advertising, like posters, aluminum, like banners and stuff like that. Right? They all, most of it was like smoking related. So I was like, you know, it didn't dawn on me till later on. I was like, you know, I appreciate the gesture of giving us stuff to sell, but you know, it's probably not the best thing for them to be selling. But hey, the main thing and the bottom line was that hey, we were going to get a donation from these people, right? So what we're supposed to be doing, well, what the residents were supposed to be doing is just like selling the stuff, and they get a percentage to generations. Now later, I come to find out that regardless of what the percentage is, what we sell, that like I guess the higher up person was just gonna just donate, you know, whatever. So good effort, go out there and sell or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're still gonna donate something big to you guys, right? So you know, this is a very interesting day. So you know, I'm just sitting there, you know, I'm enjoying my time. You know, I'm probably not supposed to be on my phone, but you know, I'm kind of on and off. You know what I mean? So it was a real relaxing day, real relaxing outing, right? But it was kind of loud, and then the actual auction started, and then I never actually been to an actual auction, but it was a lot going on. You know, it's the fast dude talking, you know, and then it's this one who's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like literally, that's what it sounded like. I'm not. That's literally what the dude sounded like, and I was like, but each time he would say it, he was like, he would point like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was like, you know, and we're in the warehouse, right? So we got that going on over the loudspeaker. We got, you know, people talking fast. The dude, he's making the little sound like, yep, 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 yep. And then we got cars like cranking up like loud, right? Like we're inside, right? So it's like echoing and stuff like that, right? So it really didn't bother me. I'm just trying to set the scene up for you guys, right? And oh yeah, I left a little small part out. Like I went to sit in the seat and I sat in it, and it was like this old, no disrespect to him, it was like an older guy, probably like close to like 80 years old, right? And so I sat in the seat, and I don't know if he was like part of the volunteers or whatever, but he was like, hey, you know, you can't sit there, right? And you know, I'm thinking he's like joking, and I was like, oh yeah. He was like, yeah, that was my seat. And so you know how somebody says something to you first, you think they're joking, and then but he was like serious or whatever. So I was like, you know, I'm on my positive group home thing, so I'm like, okay, all right. I didn't want to make it into a big deal, so it's like, okay, all right. There was another chair. I got another chair, but I don't know. That just kind of stuck out to me. But luckily, I'm such a humanitarian, you know. I just was like, okay, all right, you know. Wish there probably was a seat, you know. So I don't know. That just kind of stuck out to me. But anyway. So, you know, it's a pretty good day, man. I can't complain. You know, I'm looking at a new environment, having new experiences. So, you know, I kind of, you know, I'm like a coffee guy, so I like coffee, you know, but at this particular time, I had to go to the restroom. So I'm like, I told my staff partner, I was like, hey, I need to go to the restroom. Now, this is a big, huge, the place that we're in is like a big, huge warehouse. And that huge warehouse is a part of another huge building, convention center. So there's all kind of stuff going on. So there was actually another convention, I think, going on for like a school or something, right? So I'm going to the restroom. I'm looking around. I can't find the restroom. So I just keep walking. Now, as I'm walking, I just start hearing music. Like it's parties going on, man. And I don't know if it's something inside me sometimes, but like when I start, you know, I don't know. I was just drawn to it, right? So I was just drawn towards the music. So as I start walking closer to the music, I start smelling coffee. So now I know I gotta keep following the sound and the smell, right? So I come into like this large group of people. You know, I really didn't stick out, but I really didn't fit in, if you know what I'm saying. So, you know, I think this was like a technical college convention, maybe like alumni, maybe for teachers. These didn't look like students or even former students, but how do I know what a former student looks like? I just didn't get that vibe, right? So, you know, I'm trying to fix my coffee and look inconspicuous, you know, people kind of cutting eyes and stuff. So I'm like, I'm trying to hurry up and get this coffee and get back, right? So I got my coffee, you know, I go back. I'm just like, you know, I don't know. I like just doing stuff like that, like while I'm on, like at work, you know, going around. You know, it's just, work is always most of the time work is an adventure, right? So that's why I like doing it. So I come back with my coffee, just chilling out. And the guys are selling like some of the stuff, but they're really not hustling, right? Um, so we're there and like we were there like all day, like maybe like 7-8 hours, just chilling. They might sell a little stuff here. We'll walk around, look at the cars, stuff like that, right? Certain people will come up and talk to us, and I don't know, that was just like a new experience for me, man. So, okay, so when we're on these outings, when we get hungry, most of the time, they'll pay for our food. So, we went to the concession stand, and concession stands and like stuff like that are like very expensive at certain places, right? So like we went and got like, I don't know, they got like a hot dog and like some nachos, right? So like a hot dog and some nachos. That was like $11. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, man, we could have went to like Chick-fil-A or something like that for that type of price. You know what I mean, man? So, but I wasn't paying for it, so I wasn't gonna complain about it. The gentlemen that were with me, they really enjoyed it as well. So, it was pretty good or whatever. So, all right, so that was that Friday. So, well, we went back, all right, that's pretty much the end of that story that Friday. So that Saturday, we took another group of kids, well, 2 different residents. So 2 different residents, and we had a different staff this time. So, this time we come, so it's like, the whole new experience for the kids again. So, that they get excited about the cars and they looking at this stuff. And so, real good vibe, real great vibe. So, but these 2 guys right here, which I think I kind of explained this more to them this time. Like, hey, this is what y'all need to do. And so like these guys were like hustling. Like they was like, hey, hey, I give y'all 2 of them for, which they kind of gave them a price. The volunteers gave them a price, to work with. But these guys was hustling. These guys had made like $100 within like the first like 2 hours. Now the group before it, I don't even think they made $100 all day. But they really wasn't pushing as much. But it's all good. But I really admired, the fact that it brought certain aspects out of some of those residents. Like, you know what I mean? Like they really got to shine. Like, hey, yo, well, I didn't mean to say yo. That's not professional. But it was like, hey, 2 for $5 on that, and this right here be 3 for $15, or just doing stuff like that. Just giving them room to create, and hustle. And people was like, yeah, man, we're so proud of you guys, raising all this money and stuff. So that was a pretty good trip too, with just seeing that take place or whatever, right? But as I mentioned the day before when we went to the concession stand, so this time we were like, they gave me the company card, right? Company card guy, right? So, and they're just like, if y'all want to go somewhere else beside there, we'll do that. So the staff that was with me, he stayed at the convention center with the residents this time, and then I just drove off I think we went to Chick-fil-A. Picked the food up at Chick-fil-A, man. Like we came back, we ate. We was just soaking up the vibes in there, just people watching, just seeing what was going on. Something that I normally wouldn't have been doing on a regular day. But is that most? I think that was most of it. And then we're just going around looking at cars, just doing kid stuff. Hey, which car would you get? Yo, I would get that car. So we like, doing stuff, man. Just really good vibes, man. Really good time. I really enjoyed it. We had good vibes with the residents and things like that. So I don't know, man. That's just kind of like what we did for those 2 days. The next video I'm gonna tell you about the field day that we had. That was a pretty good day. This was like maybe like a couple of days ago. No, it wasn't. It's probably like a week ago now. But I'm gonna get back to you guys. So that was just like my story about the auction, the car auction. But yeah, I just really enjoyed just seeing it, because I didn't even know they did car auctions where in that actually they said they just had a permit to start doing those type of car auctions in the town that I was in or whatever. But that was just those 2 days for the car auction, and just trying to give you guys just like an outlook on what I do. We'll have a lot more videos coming. And as you guys know, my name is One Oak, and I am out.